at times I feel like, this has been a long season. It's a short, season, and we got a long way to go. I mean, I've been on teams, I've been on good teams, and I understand that I've never started off hot on a good team. I've actually had my best starts on the team that wasn't as good, because, teams don't get up for you the same way. You don't figure it out right away all the time, but eventually it clicks, and, I remember going through this in 04-05. I think we was 10-6 at one point, and we hit a wall. We said, okay, something got to change. We ran out 12 straight. It changed for us, and we figured out our game and the way we wanted to play. And that's the same thing we're going through now.
Have you figured out your game yet? I mean, have you figured out what you want to be doing, or are you still kind of
still figuring out? We're still getting there. I think we want to have 30 assists a game. As a team. We want the ball to be moving. We want the ball to go to the basket. We want to be one of the best. We know what we want to be. We want to be one of the best teams on both ends of the floor. But it's about the process of getting there, to being there. And I think hopefully, now, with UD being out and Mike still out, we have to, plug in those holes. Two guys that was very big to us, in the off season of making this thing come together. We don't have right now, so, we have to figure it out. Without them, and it's not an easy task, but it's a task that's going to make this team stronger, throughout this year and going into the playoffs.
Dwyane, how much is the risk sort of forced you to adjust different things out there on the court? I mean, obviously, since you went down with that, the shooting has been affected. Has that been a byproduct of that, or how much have you had to adjust from?
I mean, anytime you get any kind of injury, you adjust. So it's adjustment, but I've played with many different injuries, so I'm never going to lean on that to say it's made me shoot 1 for 13. I missed 13 shots or whatever it may be. I missed them, and if some was tough, if some was I should have made, I missed them. So I never would say that. I mean, I played with dislocated shoulder. I played with a bad knee. I played with it all. So I'm not necessarily worried about that. Me, it's about just getting back and getting my rhythm back, and I don't have too many bad games where I shoot the ball consistently. And this is probably the first time in my career, not the first time, but one of the times in my career where I've had this consistent of 2 games where I've haven't shot a high percentage. But I just you just keep going, and eventually, it will go in if you continue to believe and work on those shots that you take. So
do you go back and dissect it, look at tape, or do you just know that eventually it's going to pass? I mean, you've been through it before.
Sometimes you look at tape. Sometimes you leave it alone. Last night was one of them nights I wanted to look at tape. I wanted to go get a great meal and laugh it off some way. Or I didn't want to be in the house and be up to 6 o'clock in the morning last night. Some nights it is those nights. Some nights you want to dissect every moment of the game. But last night was one of those nights. For me, got with LeBron and we went and got a great meal. And and once I got home, I forgot all about it. Got me a good night's sleep. Came in today, and I feel like I got better. And so hopefully it'll be better tomorrow night.
Dwyane, LeBron mentioned last night about having fun and that whole thing, and felt like he wanted to get back to that. Do you echo those same statements? Do you feel like you'd like to as well?
Well, you want to enjoy the process. You want to enjoy the game. And a lot of times you got so much going on in your mind, and you think about this team. If you get down a certain point in the game, you already know the feeling, and it takes away from the enjoyment of the game. I think people I don't even want to say fun because people take it out of content of what fun really means when you say the game of basketball. So I'm just going to say the enjoyment of the game, and you just want to see enjoyment out there with guys, and you want to see guys have fun playing together. Myself and Brian and Chris, this is what we wanted to do. You want to see guys have fun playing with us, and I don't think you've seen that. So I think that's more so what he's talking about. LeBron is a guy who was always lively, always, got a lot to say, and he's very loud. That disconnect on a basketball court, that we, probably had last night. It's not the way he used to play or likes to play, and he wasn't comfortable with it, and that's why, he said it.
Just give a laundry list of all the injuries you played through, more serious than the one you have now. When's the last time you played without pain?
I don't remember. Every year when the season starts, I'm always good before the season starts. And, then maybe a hamstring injury in preseason would throw me off. But training camp, I come in training camp feeling great every year. Did we talk about the game last night? We talked about it here. But once we left here and went to dinner, we didn't talk about it at all. It didn't come up in conversation, at all. And we talked about it, of course, this morning. But once we walked out these doors, it was about finding a place to eat. Let's find a place to eat now because it gets late. And that was our big thing. But we talked about it here. You know, one thing about me and LeBron is, in which we continue to do a better job, is trying to get better communication. You know, like I said, I think us two is having the biggest adjustment. And we the ones that have, you know, probably the closest relationship. And we have to lead these guys, so we have to be more in tune with each other. And I think that we're getting it. Hey, there go Damp. Hey, guys. Hey.
One quick question for you. Our poll question tomorrow night is about the toughest player in the NBA to defend. I mean, obviously you got guys like Dwight Howard who are big and physical. You got yourself, LeBron, Kobe, you know, Rajon Rondo. Your thoughts on toughest player in the NBA to defend?
Well, I mean, I'm only can go by who I defend. For me, it's a guy like Ray Allen who just constantly moves, constantly. Seems like he's never get tired. Come off 3 screens at a time and things like that. I think he's one of the toughest guys. Or Rip Hamilton. You know, I look at guys like that as probably my toughest challenge. You know, to defend. I mean, of course, you can always look at a great player and say he's a tough guy to defend, but you know, it's about, to me, it's about those guys play a different game than you normally see, and it's you know, it's tough to defend it, running and moving and coming off of triple screens and et cetera. So.